Oop. How's it, folks? Welcome back to the channel, or just plain old welcome if you are new. Murray and Rothbard, What Has Government Done to Our Money? Chapter 1, Money in a Free Society. The Value of Exchange. How did money begin? Clearly, Robinson Crusoe had no need for money. He couldn't have eaten gold coins. Neither would Crusoe and Friday, perhaps exchanging fish for lumber, need to bother about money. But when society expands beyond a few families, the stage is already set for the emergence of money. To explain the role of money, we must go even further back and ask, why do men exchange at all? Exchange is the prime basis for our economic life. Without exchanges, there would be no real economy and, practically, no society. Clearly, a voluntary exchange occurs between both parties expect to benefit. An exchange is an agreement between A and B to transfer the goods or services of one man for the goods and services of the other. Obviously, both benefit because each values what he receives in exchange more than what he gives up. When Crusoe, say, exchanges some fish for lumber, he values the lumber he buys more than the fish he sells, while Friday, on the contrary, values the fish more than the lumber. From Aristotle to Marx, men have mistakenly believed that the exchange records some sort of equality of value, that if one barrel of fish is exchanged for 10 logs, there is some sort of underlying equality between them. Actually, the exchange is made only because each party valued the two products in different order. Why should exchange be so universal among mankind? Fundamentally because of the great variety in nature, the variety in man, and the diversity of the location of natural resources. Every man has a different set of skills and aptitudes, and every plot of ground has its own unique features, its own distinctive resources. From this external natural fact of variety come exchanges. Wheat in Kansas for iron in Minnesota. One man's medical services for another's playing of the violin. Specialization permits each man to develop his best skill and allows each region to develop its own particular resources. If no one could exchange, if every man were forced to be completely self-sufficient, it is obvious that most of us would starve to death and the rest would barely remain alive. Exchange is the lifeblood not only of our economy, but of civilization itself. Barter. Yet, direct exchange of useful goods and services would barely suffice to keep an economy going above the primitive level. Such direct exchange, or barter, is hardly better than pure self-sufficiency. Why is this? For one thing, it's clear that very little production could be carried on. If Jones hires some laborers to build a house, with what will he pay them? With parts of the house? Or with building materials they could not use? The two basic problems are indivisibility and lack of coincidence of wants. Thus, if Smith has a plow which he would like to exchange for several different things, say eggs, bread, suit of clothes, how could he do so? How can he break up the plow and give part of it to a farmer and another part to a tailor? Even where the goods are divisible, it is generally impossible for two exchangers to find each other at the same time. If A has a supply of eggs for sale and B has a pair of shoes, how can they get together if A wants a suit? And think of the plight of the economics teacher who has to find an egg producer who wants to purchase a few economics lessons in return for his eggs. Clearly, any sort of civilized economy is impossible under direct exchange. Well, next episode we'll move on to indirect exchange, the benefits of money, the monetary unit itself, the shape of money. Just it's an amazing book. Murray Rothbard. What has government done to our money? Well, here's what they've done. They started out a long time ago, and as far as silver is concerned, they even went back further than this dime, which represented a value of labor. Same thing with these quarters. Same thing with these silver dollars, Morgan silver dollars. Yeah, they got collectability value, but it's got value in the contents, which is mostly silver, 90%. And they invented currency, Federal Reserve notes. And here represents what's happened in the past 150 years. This was a $20 gold piece. So $20 was a lot of money and bought a lot of stuff in 1897 compared to the $20 bill in 2024. That's kind of pretty appropriate. The dollar has shrunk. This fiat currency is losing its value every day, every second of every day if you look at the debt clock. So thanks for getting this far. Don't forget to buy what you can, when you can, where you can, while you still can, for the best price that you can at that moment, without neglecting other priorities, obligations, or investments. So until the next episode, all right then.